welcome to or welcome back to my channel. This is my podcast, Up in the Clouds. Hello everyone, how are we doing? I hope you guys are doing super well, and thank you for all of your kind messages and heartfelt things that you guys sent me while I was away. I'm so sorry for being gone for so long, but we are back and better than ever this time, I promise. I did not want to come back and start doing this until I knew that I was ready to really do it consistently. So here we are, I'm back and I'm ready, and I hope you guys have been living in just good energy and love and light, and I've just kind of been finding myself again. I really kind of lost myself for a really long time and was just trying to really kind of get back, but I'll kind of explain everything and what really sort of happened and where it kind of started and where I am and how I got to where I am now. So it really kind of started last November when things got really bad and really dark. A lot of it I think had to do with my living situation. I was really unhappy with my situation, and I really honestly did not think that was affecting me as much as it was until now that I'm in a new place with different people and just feeling so much better than when I lived there. Even when I was doing good there, I feel like it was still affecting me so much to where whereas now being in a better situation, I don't even feel even remotely close to the things I felt when I lived there. And it really has nothing to do with the people I would live with specifically. It's just everybody's different and people kind of live their lives just differently. People have different habits and different things and the way they take care of themselves and their lives, and we just didn't mesh, and she'd already lived there for a couple years before I moved in, so she kind of had everything already, and it just kind of felt like it was never really my home, I guess. I never felt like I considered it home because pretty much everything of mine was either in the garage or it was in my room. There was nothing of mine anywhere. I had to slowly integrated things, obviously, just to make it feel more homey, but for the most part none of the stuff in the house was mine. It was mainly all hers, and I feel that has a lot to do with it, in a weird psychological way, just never making it feel like home. And kind of what I said about habits and cleaning, everyone has different ways that they live their lives, some people live very clean and then there's people that don't. I was raised with a very OCD mom who kept our house so fucking clean that it was almost too clean, but that's kind of the environment that I was raised in, a clean environment all the time. And so I feel that either though when I was a kid it was fucking annoying, I feel being adult really I'm kind of grateful for it now. It's kind of that switch of as a kid you you couldn't stand it, but being an adult and living on my own, I'm very grateful for the habits that I had from growing up and being around a mom who really would freak out if there was just a dish left in the sink, and maybe it's trauma, maybe it's whatever, but either way I just don't live my life that way, and everyone lives their lives differently, and I feel that was a big issue, just constantly cleaning up after somebody and her just being oh, I'll take care of it, and then just never doing it, and then just me getting sick of looking at it, so I just take care of it. It just kind of was always, and then the whole idea of how I said that it was her house, when I moved in she really didn't make room for me. I had to make room in the cabinets for myself, and she cleaned out one little tiny shelf for me, and I was this is not enough for the food that I want to buy, like, I don't, you know, and like cleaned out like a little corner of the fridge, and like she had the whole entire, like, it was, you know, frustrating to say the least, especially because there was like not a lot of room for me to like buy food and stuff, and she would constantly buy food and then order out all the time, so she would never eat the food in the fridge or the freezer, and I would just sit there just like rotting. And like I was like, I could have this room for food that I would actually eat, you know. So that was like very frustrating. And I think like the tipping point was when she got a boy that she didn't consider her boyfriend, but he lived with us. He basically like stayed over one night and then just like literally never left, which is fine, but she never really asked me like if I was like fine with it. Just kind of like happened. And to be honest, like I wasn't fine with it. Like I have, you know, had my past with boys, and things happened to me that I just did not feel comfortable like living with a boy. Never like asked me if I was like comfortable like living there. And like obviously it's like my home, but like I couldn't wear, you know, my cute little PJs like around the house, or just like little things like that, like having to like make sure I'm like covered up or wearing a bra, or just like not being able to feel comfortable in my own home because there's a boy there that I'm living with that I like never wanted to live with, you know what I mean? Like, so always having to like compensate for like him, and like making sure like, you know, whatever. And on top of that, like him being there is not only like, now I'm not only just cleaning up after her, like I'm cleaning up after him too. So it's constantly just like cleaning up after two people all the time, and them never being appreciative for it, or like just not even noticing, you know, what the things I was doing around the house, and those just like those little things. And it just like got so annoying, and I was literally never home, like, and I was either always working or like with like staying at people's houses. Like that should have been like a sign for her, but like she just was too in her own world to even notice, I guess. But I would literally like never be home, and it's just so nice to like be in a new place where I like love being, and I like literally love being home. Like now I like my room has kind of become like my little like haven, and I like never want to leave. Like I love being here. Like I love being home way more, you know. And I feel like that also kind of helps because, you know, when you're just like busy and you're constantly doing things, like you're never really like dealing with your emotions or things you're going through. You're just kind of like pushing it away and distracting it. And like now I can like, you know, really self-reflect on things, and that's kind of like where I realized like everything that was like going on. And I was honestly just miserable. Like I hated being there literally so much, and I just like pushed through and was like a few more months, like I can do it. But it was really, really affecting me, like way more, like I said, than I ever realized until I got out of the environment. So your living environment really has a lot to do with, you know, how you are mentally. You know, if you're not in a good living environment and you don't necessarily like enjoy it or feel comfortable, you don't like being home, so you're always out and about, like your home is supposed to be your safe place, you know. So if you don't have that like safe place, you kind of seek that out within other people, and that's just never ever ends well when you kind of like always are seeking that with people, especially in this day and age with this, you know, hookup culture. Like can't be seeking home in people because ain't nobody solid anymore. You know. But that's a different topic for a different day. But yeah, just like never feeling that like sense of home. So now it's kind of nice to like have that and feel that like sense, you know, that like presence of like I feel so comfortable here, like I love my house, my home, you know. So that was a lot, you know, and it was like depressing me. So like when I was home, I was like miserable. So like I never like had energy to do this, to content create, to do the thing that I really love. Like I love doing this. I love doing this podcast. I love making fun little videos. I also like do really like just like fun videos on TikTok. Like, and I would never have the energy to do that when I lived there, and that's why I stopped for a while. And I would like try to do TikToks, but it just like, I don't know, it never really felt the way that I feel now, I guess. And I did do an episode on this, but I relapsed really badly on my eating disorder last winter, and I've really kind of been struggling on and off with that and kind of coming back from that and really being in recovery right now. And my relationship with food is probably the healthiest it's been in a, like, honestly, since 2020. Like, when I recorded my first ever video, I think it's like episode like 2 or 3, I recorded that first video about like talking about my eating disorder. That's probably the best that it's been right now since then. I just kind of want to like talk about that now. So we're kind of gonna shift gears, you know. So recovery is so fucking difficult. You know, I kind of did an episode right before the holidays talking about how hard it is with the holidays and stuff, and that's kind of around the corner again. Like, just like in general with diet culture and people constantly talking about food and calories and this and that, and like really kind of just avoiding events that revolve around food. Like, so many adult hangouts revolve around food, and it's just like a recovery like nightmare, you know. Like, it's so fucking hard to be an adult that struggles with either being in recovery or just still is struggling with an eating disorder in general. It's exhausting and it's fucking hard and it's not easy, and it's that's why it's never fully goes away. It's always kind of there, you know. I don't think I'll ever let myself get to a certain weight, you know. I feel like I'll always have that like voice in my head, that little demon, you know, that like is anytime I gain any sort of weight, it's like, you need to starve yourself, da da da. So recovery, I feel like I've cut a lot of people out of my life because the whole like seeing people you haven't seen in a while and then just being like, oh my god, you lost so much weight, like you look so good, I want to be like you, I wish I could look like you, I wish I could be as skinny as you, what do you eat? Oh, I need to eat like you do. Bitch, I don't eat. My own brain is like constantly like telling me that I don't look like what people tell me I look like. My brain is constantly telling me if I gain like a tiny bit of weight, how fat and disgusting I am. That's my brain. I promise you, you don't want to be like me. You don't want to look like me. You don't want to eat like me. You don't want to like anything like me. I promise you. And I hate when people comment on my weight. I hate when people tell me I look like I have a dream body. Like, no, I don't. Maybe I do maybe, but I wouldn't trade. I wouldn't want to give you what I have to do, like what I deal with to like look the way that I do. It's not fucking fun. It's fucking miserable. And I only feel good about myself, like my body, or at the time, you know. Now I'm like, this is like, I'm talking, I guess I should probably preface, I'm talking in like past tense, because now I'm doing really well and I'm not like dealing with those things right now. That doesn't mean like I don't, you know, it doesn't like come up every so often. Like every now and then I'll get a bad thought, but it's not like what it was, you know. Like when I'm talking this, I guess I'm like talking in past tense, like as I'm talking about this and I'm explaining these things and these thoughts that go through my head. Like, I may have your dream body, but tell me I didn't do what, you know, you think you need to do to get this. Like, I suffered for this. I've been dealing with this disease for 12 years of my life, and it's something that I think I'm going to deal with for the rest of my life. Like, I don't think it's ever going to go away. And because I've been destroying my body for so long, my stomach is permanently fucked up. Like, I can't eat properly. Like, I have to eat like small amounts, and if I ever do binge, it's normally because of like weed, you know, smoking dabs or edibles or whatever, to be able to eat more than properly. Because if I'm like not stoned, like I have no appetite and I have to like really eat like almost every time, unless I've like haven't eaten all day and I like, or I've been at work and I'm constantly around food at work. So like when I'm running around and stuff, I'm like, I'll get hungry. But I'm just like in general, like I can't really eat without like smoking and stuff. And I can't eat a lot unless I smoke. Like sometimes I'll have to like take like mid-smoke breaks, and so I can keep eating because sometimes things are so good and I just want to eat more, but my stomach is so fucked up from just years of abuse, basically. Like it's like shrunk. Can't handle like a lot at one time, and it's miserable. Like you don't want this life. You don't want the things that my like brain tells me. You don't want to only feel good about yourself when you're starving yourself, you know. Like when I'm eating, you know, it's like recovery is really hard at first because, you know, you've been not really eating properly. So when you start eating properly, you bloat like crazy. Like your like body just doesn't even know how to like, it's like relearning how to deal with all the food and intake and being healthy and the energy again. So at first, recovery is really hard, and a lot of people like in recovery, just like with, you know, addiction to drugs, relapse in recovery, because it is like a drug, you know, starving yourself and feeling pretty and, you know, whatever. You get addicted to it. You get addicted to that feeling of, oh, I look so good this way. Oh, I love the way my body looks when I don't eat, you know? And it's fucking sad. It's so fucking sad that I grew up in the era of, I wish I would, you know, everyone's so body positive now. I wish I would have grown up in this era now, because when I grew up, where like the era that I grew up in, like people worshipped Victoria's Secret models. That was the body ideal image at that time. Like, I mean, it started to shift as I got older, but I mean, for when I feel like my primal years of when my eating disorder really started was during that era of when people were idolizing the Victoria's Secret models, and then everybody kind of found out that they don't really, like literally don't eat at all. Like they eat like minimal amount possible, and realized like what, you know, how bad it was or whatever. But before that is when I, you know, was most impacted and most at that age of where, you know, it was, what is the word? I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for. Besides impactful, whatever. You guys kind of like know what I'm saying. Like Victoria's Secret models were the ideal body image, and now everybody's like way more body positive, and you know, like it's just different now, and I just can't let it go, you know. I can't, even though I know it's different now, and like body positivity and all this, like my brain still holds on to that 16-year-old girl and that ideal body image of just being stick thin and so small that you're like nothing. You can like wither away to nothing. And I had to heal that, you know. That's healing your inner teenager. So I feel like when you heal your inner child, the next step is to heal your inner teenager. And I feel like it's not really talked about a lot, you know. It's talked about like healing your inner child and doing things to bring out your inner child and keeping your childlike imagination alive and doing things for your inner child. But we don't talk about your inner teenager and making sure that like if you had trauma or stuff that started, like mental health stuff that started when you were a teenager, that it's important to also kind of heal through your inner teenager as well. And that's something that I've been doing. Been kind of healing that, kind of just like redirecting my brain. And like when I start to feel negative thoughts or like start to look at myself for a little too long, I walk away from the mirror, you know, like I do little things, and I buy clothes that like is kind of, I feel good in, and as soon as I don't feel good in something, like I don't wear it, and just never trying to like let myself too far out of my comfort zone, and making sure I feel good and comfortable, and that includes like, you know, not dressing for others. I feel like I went through that phase of like I had to dress a certain way to like impress people, and then I just kind of started dressing how I wanted to dress, and it's, teenage Courtney would be so proud of me because I'm wearing things that like I wanted to wear when I was, you know, teenager, and I couldn't because it was like so, like I went to like such a judgy high school, you know, and everybody that, like, I mean, I didn't really exist in high school, but I, you know, still just wanted to blend in, you know, I didn't want to stand out, I didn't want to wear the things that I wear now, you know, but I, like, inner teenager Courtney is so happy and so proud of me for being able to like wear and express myself the way that I've wanted to, you know, and I feel like even in college, I kind of like would sometimes like go out of the inner box, but for the most part I just wanted to blend in and fit in, and now I don't give a fuck about that. Like I've never fit in, and honestly, like it's fine. And I've just kind of been working on healing that relationship with myself, really, and learning to be okay with gaining a little bit of weight, kind of realizing that this isn't gonna go away. Like I can't make it go away forever, but what I can do is do the best that I can to make sure that it doesn't get as bad as it gets, you know, and really kind of redirecting. So when I feel those thoughts come up, distracting myself with something else, or finding ways to keep myself busy, but not too busy, and making sure that I'm taking time to rest and, you know, do things for myself and my body, and like drinking more water and, you know, electrolytes, and eating healthy to feel good, not to necessarily be small, you know. I feel like that relationship with healthy food, it's really scary to me because, you know, I get to situations where like I love Taco Bell, like I love a cheese quesadilla with extra jalapeno sauce from Taco Bell. It's like my like, love it. I think there's something in the sauce because it's like so good. But anyways, like I just like living in this society, like this is what I'm talking about. Like I just, one day I was at work, I was like, oh, I really, really, really want a cheese quesadilla from Taco Bell. That's like all I want right now. That's all I was thinking about, and I was like so excited to go there after work and get my cheese quesadilla. And I just mentioned it out loud, like someone was like, oh, are you ordering food to go before we leave for the, I was like, no, I'm going to Taco Bell. And this one coworker was like, you're gonna put that in your body? And I stood there and I wanted to just rip my, like, I don't even know, I just wanted to like, wanted to die. Because like little did she know that like at least like I was eating, you know, and you can't say that to people. You can't just be like, well, at least I'm eating. Maybe it's bad, but at least I'm eating some, you know. And I don't ever want to make people feel bad, and sometimes people don't know. I don't necessarily like advertise at work my issues outside of work, you know. I mean, or to people, and even like people in my life, I don't think, like I have like close friends that I probably like don't think they have any idea that I struggle with this. I'm very to myself with my problems, and it's definitely an issue. Like I've definitely had like friends call me out for it, and like say like, you never open up about things and you don't talk about things. And I know, and I'm really bad with it, and I like try to get better, but I also like, I don't want anybody worrying, and I don't want questions, and I don't like when people know things, they just like say things and, you know, hold things against me. Like I've had family members like say things to me and like use things against me, and I don't need that. I don't like that. I would just rather be to myself and deal with things myself, and you know, if I want to talk about them, I will, and if I don't, that's my choice, you know. Just sad. I've just been burned too many times with opening up to people about stuff, and I guess if they want to know, they can listen to this and figure out what's really going on with me, and that's their choice, you know. And they still choose to hold stuff against me. That's like, I didn't fucking tell you. I don't know, it's different. I guess it's different when they hear it on here and they like, no, you don't fucking eat. That's why you're a raging bitch. No. Just kidding. No one's ever said that, but definitely have hold like eating against me, and it's just triggering, you know, and I just don't. So it's like when people say stuff like that, like when I'm just like, well, it's my choice, I guess. Like, I'm just getting a cheese quesadilla. It's not like it's like I'm ordering the whole menu or eating meat or whatever. I just normally just laugh and don't say anything, but like, people just have to, I feel like, you know, and it's like, you're not responsible for anyone else's triggers, and I get that, but also I feel like people just sometimes need to like just word things differently and just word things better, because you don't always know like what people are dealing with and stuff. And I mean, I'm not like a saint, I'm no like saint to that. I know definitely I've probably crossed lines with people and said things and, you know, hurt people's feelings or whatever, you know, not knowing like what they're dealing with outside. But I feel like it's just a good reminder, like for all of us, myself included, to just be more cautious about the way that we talk to people and the things that we say around people, and don't make people feel bad for certain things. If somebody wants to go eat Taco Bell, someone wants to go eat McDonald's, like, I'm not gonna make anybody feel bad about their choices and not make anybody feel bad about what they want to eat, you know? Like, that's your life, that's your choice. And I feel like that would, you know, that energy should be reciprocated back to people. Just don't make comments about people's eatings or their bodies at all. Like, can we just like agree to like not comment on people's bodies anymore? Like, oh, I'm just so sick of it. Like, if you knew what I had to do to like look the way that I do, like, trust me, you would not be like like, I'm not gonna say worshiping, but you would not be like trying to like say the things that you're saying if you knew what I did to look the way that I do, you know? Like, I don't look this way healthily. I don't look this way because I'm like, I mean, yes, I do have a good metabolism on top of everything, because I mean, I still don't eat super, like, I don't eat healthy at all. Like when I do eat, it's not like I'm eating just salads. I literally eat like a 12-year-old. But I'm just saying, like, on top of my eating issues, like, I guess I still have a decent metabolism. But I mean, like, just don't comment on people's bodies. Like, don't make people, you know, it's because when you're commenting on someone's body and then they're just, you know, doing the things that they're doing to it, like I'm like my balls deep in this eating disorder, and you're telling me I look good, you're telling me you wish you looked like me, and you're telling me like all these things, you're feeding into the disorder. Like, you are praising the things that I'm doing that you may not know. You don't know that I'm doing it, but you're praising me for it. And then I'm like, well, they probably wouldn't think I looked as good as I did if I wasn't doing this. There's a song that is by one of my favorite artists who talks about her eating disorder experience and basically like puts it into a song, you know, just like what people, you know, creative people do. And one line of the song that gets me every single time is, what if I didn't do this to my body? What if I quit and then you don't want me? And it's not necessarily like directing, maybe like she wrote it specifically about somebody, but when I hear that part, it's very like directed towards anybody. It can be like how I feel with any guy that I talk to, any person, like people I'm friends with. Like, would you be friends with me if I didn't look this way? Would you be friends with me if I was chubby again? You know, I really feel like I've never been like super chubby, but I definitely like, Oh, and even like I went to the bars the other day, and I have like a, you know, this ID picture is like pretty old. And the bouncer guy was like, "You look like you lost a fuck ton of weight. Jesus Christ." And I'm just like, he's like, "You look so different. Yeah, you look younger. How does that happen?" And I'm just like, am I good or not? Like, ew, we're gonna do this already? Like, God, it was just like, there's just comments you just like don't say. Like, you just don't say stuff like that. Like, yes, you want to know that like I did lose a fuck ton of weight because I was destroying my body? Like, no, like, just keep my mouth shut. Sorry, I don't mean to get so worked up about this, but it's just like a lot of stuff I've been holding on to for like a while, and just been like trying to like calmly put it into an episode, and I'm just getting so worked up, and I like literally had to pause and like breathe for a second, and I'm still like getting super worked up. But just like collectively, let's all agree to just compliment people for things other than their body and their face and their looks, and just compliment people on things like their energy and their presence and their energy, like just everything other than the way they look. Like, I'm so frustrated. Like, sometimes I wish I could just fucking scream, you know? I wish I wasn't like this. I wish I didn't deal with the things that I deal with, but I know it's all for a reason, and it's all for a purpose. And I've gone through the things that I've gone through to help other people. I realize, I know that, but I still struggle myself, you know? I still, deep down, have a lot of wounds that I'm still healing. And just because I've partly healed them doesn't mean that they're healed, that there's things still come up all the time, you know? And these are one of those wounds that I'm never going to be able to fully heal. And I've kind of finally realized that. Like, I feel like I thought like I could just be good and get over it and be great and healthy and like everything's great, but it's just not like that, unfortunately. And it just sucks. I sometimes wish, like, you know, when I deal with my body dysmorphia and my anxiety and my paranoia and my depression and my eating disorder, like my BPD, like a lot. And that's like another thing, a lot of people who have BPD struggle with eating disorders. It's very, very like a big common correlation. I'm guessing it has something to do with like self-harm and stuff, because like people with BPD are more prone to like self-harming ways, and that can just be more than just, you know, hurting yourself physically, like, or hurting yourself in other ways. Like it's you're harming yourself by having an eating disorder, you know? It's harmful. It can kill you. I really just kind of wanted to have like a venting episode with you guys about like what's been going on, kind of lay it all on the table. So my living environment really fucked me up for the last year. So in a new living environment and living a new space, a new city, I am me again. I feel like me, and heartbreak, you know, letting someone completely destroy me. And then, you know, killing myself, and then, you know, praying like, please, can you hear me? Save me, something. Either take me away from this earth or save me. And then God sent somebody in my life to save me, and they did. Life is fucking crazy that way, you know? Like, you can know somebody for so long and be in the same room as them so many times, and a year ago not know them, and then a year later they save your fucking life. Again and again and again and again, and they don't even know, you know? They have no fucking idea. Life's beautiful that way, huh? And I met a lot of really cool people, and who've shown me just real friendship, and been shown a lot of people's true colors, and just kind of been, you know, really kind of, I don't want to say isolating myself, because I'm really not, but just like isolating in an inner circle, you know, just keeping my circle really fucking small lately. And it's really just been really nice. Most people don't fucking care about you unless you somehow benefit them in some way. It's really fucking sad. We live in a really sad generation. Like, there's certain things about our generation that's good, and there's certain things that are just fucking sad. Stop being friends with people just because of the way they fucking benefit you. Stop the way that they can benefit your life and make your life better. Be friends with people because they're genuine. Be friends with people because they make you fucking happy. You know? Keep your circle fucking tight. Just because you have more friends, like, just because you have a fuck ton of friends doesn't mean that they're all genuine and they all give a fuck about you. Because I promise you, if you're ever going through something, half of those people aren't going to be fucking there for you. And I've had to learn that a really, really brutally hard way. I learned it, and then I, like, forgot I learned it, and then I learned it again. You know? But genuine people will never leave your life, and you'll have, you know, as you grow up, you'll have those friends that you may not talk to all the time, you may not see all the time. I have this one friend who I don't see her for months, but then when we see each other, it's literally like we've never been apart, you know? And she cares about me so much and genuinely, and I care about her, and it's like, those are the type of people I fucking love, you know? Like, you don't have to see them all the time to know that they care, to know that they're there, and if anything's going on with you, they will be there for you. Like, that's your whatever, you know? I have, like, quite, you know, as an adult, I have, like, quite a few friends like that, and, it's crazy. It's so fun. Like, it's fun having those friends that, like, are, you know, in different cities and a little bit further away from you, because then you can, like, go visit them and then, like, you know, go experience, like, something else for a little while. And it's just make sure you're surrounding yourself with genuine people, because surrounding yourself with bad people and fake people can really affect you and can really just bring you down. And, you know, at the end of the day, you want to be able to, like, the people that you're giving yourself to and the people you're allowing into your space, into your life, you want to make sure that they're going to fucking be there for you at your lowest, you know? They're going to be there for you at your highest, or if they don't deserve to be there for your highest if they're not there for you at your lowest, you know? So on that note, I'm going to end the episode, but this is going to be a never-ending topic. This is something that I will always be struggling with, and something that I will never have realized that I'll never really heal from fully, but I can be in a good place with it, you know? And right now I'm at the best place that I've been with it in so long, but obviously I get triggered, and obviously there's days where things get rough and my body dysmorphia and my brain just fucks with me, but that's just the life of struggling with mental health issues, you know? It doesn't always go away, but you can mend and you can heal and you can work through it, you know, and try to distract yourself from those thoughts. But so recap, living environment is such a big deal. Make sure you have a good living environment, especially if you have mental health issues. I feel like your living environment and making sure you're creating a safe space for yourself, especially like a little like room haven, which I will do a room tour if you guys are interested. I really, really love my room, and I think it's so cute and cozy. You guys can kind of see like little parts of it, but I would love to do like a little room tour. And I have like a lot of fun videos planned aside from the podcast. So subscribe and tap that little notification bell so you can get notified whenever I upload a video, so you can be some of the first to see it. And especially if you enjoy, like, other than the podcast. But thank you all so much for listening, and thank you all for being there, the ones that have been there for me while I was away. You guys kind of kept me motivated to come back, and I'm very thankful for you. I'm just thankful for all my friends and my loved ones that are surrounding me and all the new people that I've met and brought into my life. Thank you all so much for being there for me. I love you all endlessly, and I will love you all in other worlds too. You know, I'll love you all in all my other lives. But thank you all so much for being there, and I love you all, and I'm sending you all so much love and light and good energy for the week, and I will see you guys next week for another episode. I'm probably gonna record it early in the week and then post it, because I'm going on vacation next week. I'm so excited. I'll talk about it more next episode, but I love you. I will check with you guys next week. I love you so much, and thank you all. Have a beautiful day. Bye.